I think, Adrian, to be honest, it's true that the nations are not very receptive of Trump's sanctions. However, we should also remember that there is a very great danger here in the way that we are discussing, that we paint Iran as a victim of the machinations of the US. Remember the reason why many countries in the Gulf are lobbying the US to be harsh on Iran. It is because Iran's foreign policy has irked and disturbed many nations in the region. Iran has numerous militias in Iraq. It is heavily involved in Syria in propping up the Assad regime. And it has Hezbollah in Lebanon, which has a gun pointed towards the Lebanese government. We have to remember that Iran is not a victim in this region, and that the chapter that we see today with regards to the oil is only one chapter of a big, long book of relationship between Iran, the Gulf, and the US. Let's also not forget Iranian involvement in Yemen. Iran seems today like it's a victim. And it's true, perhaps in this it may well have been wronged. But let us not give the impression that this has emerged from nothing. It is more than just an issue of oil price. It is also about curbing Iranian activity in Iraq, for example. In Iraq, it is dominated by Iranian influence. The US are now second to Iran in Iraq. You can see now in the way government negotiations are taking place in Iraq. General Qasem Soleimani of the Quds Force in Iran is the one conducting negotiations between the various Shiite parties to ensure a pro-Iran majority government. This is why there are all these attempts in order to curb Iran's capabilities in the region itself. So whilst I agree today that perhaps Iran is being hard done with regards to its oil exports, while I agree that Trump is being very harsh on Iran, and while I agree that Trump is pursuing these policies for Machiavellian reasons, let us not be hoodwinked by what Iran is doing in the region. This does not suggest that Saudi and the UAE are good parties or that they are victims or the like. The reality is, in this very geopolitical game being played in the region, Iran is a major player. Nobody can deny that. Even during sanctions, it was still able to pursue an aggressive foreign policy, and it is still pursuing an aggressive foreign policy despite its economic situation, despite its political situation. So we should be very much aware. Nations want to deal with Iran. That's very much true. But they want to deal with Iran because they know also that Iran remains a very strong country with significant influence in the region.